I'm Andros J.
I'm Dominic King.
I'm Edin Rise.
And I'm Vickie.
And you're listening to the Enigmatic podcast. Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Enigmatic podcast. This episode's just roughly about us and the original story of Enigmatic. So I think we're going to pass it along to everyone in the group just to basically tell us how we got into wrestling and their background story. So I'm going to pass on to Dominic King. He's going to tell you how he got into wrestling.
Bloody ages ago, wasn't it?
Mm.
About 17 years old we were. Back in Swansea. It's not Swansea, Swansea, wasn't it?
Swansea, yeah.
Back in IPW UK, or was it just IPW then?
No, IPW UK back then. They didn't drop the UK by that point.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was... We was just two little nerds in the back corner. Not talking to anyone.
So what got you into wrestling? Because for the longest time you used to take the piss out of me for liking wrestling. So if you want to tell the view,
very interested in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the absolute mick out of all wrestling altogether for a while, just because I never actually watched it. Then one day I thought, I'll give it a go, not judge a book by its cover pretty much, and I actually ended up liking it. Then I think I hit you up or you hit me up saying, do you want to try it out one day? And it was like, yeah, go on then. It's a very spontaneous thinking. Then we just went and did it. And we loved it ever since.
Yeah, very much like, like we was footballers at the time. I had quite a bad injury and I didn't want nothing to do with football again. And you tell me you've been watching Monday Night Raw and you're like, I was like, well, I know wrestling's cool if you want to go try out. You're like, yeah, man, I'm game. And then 6 years later, here we are. So
I think it's just my willingness to do anything just off the bat. Because I'm just way chilled out for my own good, really, and I...
Yeah, pretty much. So that's me and Dominic. That's our very shortened version of our
a lot longer.
Yeah, of our background story. So let's pass on to Vickie. And how about you tell us how you got into wrestling?
Okay, well, the way I got into wrestling was pretty similar to Dominic, actually. I was just watching Monday Night Raw with my friend, and I can't even remember...
Was it the same episode as Dominic King as well?
Oh, of course, always. I'm not entirely sure what episode or what match, but I just remember... I remember seeing it and being like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I want to try and do something, like, extraordinary that, like, not many people get to do. So then, like, I was really interested in AJ Lee, personally. I thought she was really cool, because she was very unique compared to everyone else. So she kind of became my role model, and then like my first gear, I had knee-high Converse on because of AJ Lee, pretty much. And then I joined a wrestling school, and I've been wrestling for nearly 4 years now. So.
Right. Okay. So it's the same sort of story as Dominic, where you didn't really have any interest. It was shown to you, and you was like, okay, I can do this. I'd like to give that a go.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was a kid, I always knew of like the Undertaker and Rey Mysterio, but I just wasn't really interested in wrestling until I got older.
That's kind of like when you talk to any outside person of the world of wrestling they will say like the Undertakers, the John Cenas and everything like the Hogans. When you talk to older people, they always go like Haystacks or something like that.
Big Daddy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Big Daddy.
Big Daddy was told that.
That's the names that will always come up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like myself and Ian are very different how we got into wrestling. Like, I've always liked it since I was about 5 years old. WrestleMania TLC match, Jeff Hardy getting speared off the ladder. After seeing it, I was like, yeah, I want to do that.
I want to throw myself off stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been a massive part of my life ever since, but I know me and Edin have been liking wrestling for a long time. So if we pass on to Edin, he can tell you how he got into wrestling compared to your both spontaneous ways to get into it.
Yes.
Well, for me, I think it was about 4 or 5-ish. I had 2 videotapes. I had a videotape of No Mercy 2000 and WrestleMania 21, which I always watched. And because of that, I always started to jump. I always jump off my bed, practicing their moves and that stuff, and actually displayed my little finger once.
Oh, well. First of many injuries for the Enigmatic bunch.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't my dream to become a wrestler then. It was mainly a footballer until 2016.
Right, yeah.
That's it, really.
Yeah. So, I know for me and Dominic, we trained at IPW and we were there for quite a few years, and then we eventually moved down to Gen Pro, which was EWW before that, before they split ways. And we was there for quite some time. That's when we first met Vickie. So going from there, I think we went to a lot of places and done a lot in our careers.
Yeah, definitely.
Before that point, and we got quite lucky. So I think maybe to explain how we became Enigmatic would be quite a good pointer to add into this.
I think we always wanted to be a tag team from the start, really, didn't we? We didn't think of anything different.
Yeah, well, as family, as brothers, being separated was a no-go from the start.
Many childhood photos, me with a bigger head than I do now.
Yeah, you got a nice forehead.
And then we just grew from there. Then we came up with the idea of doing everything as a team. We never ask us, like, why are you always together? So we do everything as a team. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, and that was a big gimmick for us at the start, was we do everything as a team gimmick, and we just didn't leave each other's sides, and that led to quite some funny skits and stuff together.
Yeah, skits were a massive part of us whilst we was growing up. We loved doing those.
Oh God.
I
think that's a different episode entirely.
Yeah.
I think we're breaking focus, guys. We're breaking focus from where we need to be. So obviously, I know you've trained elsewhere, haven't you, Vickie? Apart from just your EWW and Genesis.
I did one in-ring seminar with LDN. I did train a few times down EWW in Hastings. And I have trained at SEBW quite a few times. But that's really as far as I've gone at the moment. But I'm hoping to go further.
Right. So clearly coming to a blank, you train at so many places, hence a little pause there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, awesome.
Thinking, man.
Such vast
I was
knowledge.
thinking, you need to give me time to think.
So it's Blonde Roots showing, Vickie. Blonde Roots. So obviously, myself and King started off Enigmatic, and we never thought it would come to what it is now.
No.
We always liked the idea of having that third person, didn't we?
Yeah.
Originally, that third person was meant to be our older brother, Joey Core. But for whatever reasons, commitments, he that just never came to be. He trained with us quite a bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
At IPW.
He came down a few times.
What's more sad is the guy is actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid, it's a waste of talent from our perspective, I think.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, we kept saying, we want a female to join our group, because we want to be like the Hardy Boys, and to be a trio is such a cool thing, because you don't get much of that anymore in indie wrestling or Brit Rest. So we managed to do that. We got Eden Rise, and then the Powerhouse Vickie came along.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we got really, really lucky, and I think. Do you want to explain how we came up with the Enigmatic name, or if you remember?
Slightly. We brainstormed a lot of names, to be fair, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think you came up with the name.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know what that means. I had to Google what it meant. I was like, oh, that's sick.
Obviously, it's a little well-known fact that I'm a massive Jeff Hardy fan, Hardy Boys fan, and obviously Jeff is the charismatic Enigma, and I was like, Enigma. I can do something with that. Let's help Google, and then literally in my room, I didn't realise there was a poster of Jeff Hardy, and it says Enigmatic across it, and I was like, you know what? We'll use that, and it's kind of like a little subtle nod to the Hardy Boys, who inspired mine, your tag team style massively.
Yeah,
and we went from there. I know we had a few names that we was kind of thinking about using. That's quite cringy though at the time, so I'm really glad we didn't use them.
The Brotherhood was one, which
Yeah.
I actually have on a little one-off T-shirt that I've made. That's still in my cupboard. That's never probably going to see the light of day ever again.
We had the deck of cards, the Falling Kingdom.
Yeah.
We had quite a few, to be fair. Yeah, and I think there was no other way but you and me to be Enigmatic was the was the main reason why he wanted to be. Like, there was no other possibilities of being singles or going elsewhere or splitting away from each other. It was always going to be you and me.
I do love it when people like ask what it means, or like when people do know what it means, that it means like something unknown or you can't understand it pretty much.
Or even pronounced, because as we found out from Edin Rise, it wasn't the easiest to pronounce for him, bless him.
I feel like he needs to tell us exactly how he pronounced it.
I
Go on,
don't
Edin.
remember.
He doesn't remember.
I don't
Oh,
He
of
doesn't
course
remember,
he
guys.
doesn't. Mr. Enigmatic Edin does not remember.
That's the first time you called me. So.
Yeah, the Enigmatic Edin, it will always be our favourite.
Thank you, Vickie.
I think it's the same way when people said, how you so enigmatic, what makes you enigmatic? That's the point. You don't know. You're not supposed to know. That's what enigmatic is.
Mystery.
So we kind of tiptoed our way around that question. It was like, we just pretty much just cheated our way out, so that you're not supposed to know, mate. Sorry.
It's an inside. It's an inside thing.
Special ingredients in that.
Special ingredients. Yeah. Get that big pot of ingredients, mix them up, and you get enigmatic.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice, and it comes to us.
There we go. So I think a good thing for us all to talk about would be our first impressions
Ooh.
of each other, because
That varies.
I mean, obviously myself and you being brothers and that, we can't really give
The first impression.
because you was a child when you was a baby, so I couldn't really think much apart from great
Big forehead.
Big forehead.
This
There's
is
another one.
A tiny little tanned megamind.
That's a big old pop right there, my friends. Big old pop. We never really got into any arguments or anything when we was younger. We were always quite...
It was very rare, to be fair.
Yeah, there's never any fist fight. We always got on, to be fair. Me, you and Joey, we always got on. There's never
Yeah.
any arguments or fights.
Which is quite weird when you hang around someone for so long and you don't hardly have any arguments at all.
Well, I think it's...
Not rare.
We just tolerate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of tolerate. We just... Yeah, okay.
Kind of like how I tolerate EJ. I'm not too
Hey,
happy
hey,
about
hey,
it.
hey.
You're a fan, and
Yeah.
we all know that.
You shut up.
It's guilty pleasure.
You see that smile on King's face?
Yes.
Mm.
He's a
Can't get enough
scholar.
of it.
He loves it. Look at him. So yeah, let's start with I think it would be quite good to hear Vickie hear her first impressions when Enigmatic decided to leave IPW UK,
Oh no.
come down to Gen Pro,
Take it by storm.
yeah, EWW, and have your first thoughts on
Show them how it's
the
done.
Enigmatic duo as
Oh,
we came through the
God.
doors of your academy.
Oh god.
So us being outsiders coming into your home, what was your first impressions of us two?
Okay, so when I first saw you two, I thought absolutely dreadful. I'm kidding.
You're not.
So definitely not. Right, so when I first saw Andros, I thought he was extremely mysterious. There was just something about him. I was like, he seems interesting. But I knew that he was very sure of himself. He knew that he was good at what he did, but he wasn't overly cocky about it. Whereas Dominic, on the other hand, he seemed pretty judgmental, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was just judging everyone. And he seemed a little bit arrogant, but I thought he could be nice. He could be alright, probably.
It's just my resting face, really, isn't it? It's just how my face looks.
Yeah,
People are like, why are you angry? I'm not. I'm just chilling out.
exactly. And as for Edin, when I first met Edin, he was very shy and reserved. But now that I know him, he is the most elegant little butterfly I've ever met in my life. And
Out of all the things you could say.
I'm a little butterfly.
he is, though. He is. He's so delicate. Bless him.
So how about we bounce off that and we throw it back to King? So
Oh, no.
how about King tells us his first impressions of Vickie and Edin Rise?
I thought...
Because obviously it was a big. It was obviously a big step from us to leave IPW.
Yeah, definitely.
It became under new ownership, and pretty much it was quite a far distance away, and we didn't overly get on with the owner at that time. So we decided to take a step away, and we're like, oh, there's a new company called EWW that turned into Gen Pro, and we was like, okay, let's move down to there. Let's see what these guys are all about.
And obviously we were very nervous.
Yeah, at that time.
So through those nerves, I made some assumptions that were not correct at the time. Like, I thought when I met Vickie, she was a he.
My name is Victor, guys.
Yeah. Like, everyone started calling her Victor. I'm like, okay, it's a dude. Alright, I can looks a bit feminine, but I can get behind it. There's nothing wrong with that. So
I'm here not to judge. I'm here to wrestle.
yeah,
So.
I'll wrestle anyone. I don't mind.
Yeah. No judgment here.
Yeah, get through the session. It's all well and good. Walking back with Jay, I'm like, that Victor guy is pretty good.
It's like, I was like, her name is Vickie. I'm sorry, what? No. That's Victor. He's a guy. I'm like, no, it's not.
I was one of the lads.
It's a girl. Her name's Vickie.
No, it's not.
We have to go back the following week to be proved wrong.
I was like, oh.
It is a boy.
Yeah, that was my first impressions of Vickie.
Yeah.
For Edin, I can't actually remember much from that day. I think because during the time I took quite a bit of time off, then I came back, and then quite a few new people have just joined in. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. Where have these people come from? So I think I just kind of took it all in of all these new people. I didn't really get to meet you personally at the time until like time went on and we got to know each other more, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first impressions of everyone.
I say my first impressions, because I met Vickie first. I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was a boy too.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Like the first minute though, then
Well,
once I talked to her, I went, oh, okay, no, this is...
So how about we just add it in here, right? At that time, Vickie had very short bobbed hair, almost emo bowl cut. So if you think of like a bowl cut, but an emo version, that's how Vickie's hair was. So she was very petite as well. She was very small. She's not the powerhouse that she is now.
I was a twig. I was a twig.
So a lot of she can't kind of come back on us with any heat, guys, because she did kind of look like a guy. So
I'm the petite one now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, very.
But after talking to her more, she obviously is a very lovely human.
Yeah.
Bit short temper.
But I'm a bit of a lad. Really.
Yeah, one of the lads.
For Andros, I say I was pretty intimidated. Because when I first came in, I just kept looking at him because he was looking at me and I was scared.
So so handsome. That's lovely.
But eventually I talked to him more and he took me under his wing and now EJ for life.
Yeah.
King, as you said, we didn't really talk, but I got the feeling that you was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
That tends to happen everywhere we go, to be fair. Yeah.
But it's been like a year now, you're still a dick.
Yeah.
I love you, bro.
I think we get that quite a lot. Like we get told that we're intimidated just because our faces when we're just chilling looks like we're constantly angry.
No, I think it's we're usually just very focused, or we're just trying to tune into what we're listening
got
to.
a focused face.
Yeah, we're absolutely naff at multitasking. So we're like either doing one or the other. So we're usually like, we look so pissed. Like I'm just trying to listen what's going on. Like I can't focus. Too many people are talking.
Squinted eyes, eyebrows down, so it look like Sykes has really grinded our gears, so no one just approaches us. That's why we were the two people in the corner for so long, because no one just wanted to come near us.
I mean, to be fair, going back onto the first impressions, like what you said, we were very arrogant walking into Gen Pro EWW. We came from such a high caliber of wrestlers to a standard-ish at IPW, and EWW and Gen Pro teaches very differently to how we was taught. There are a lot more wrestling sides, whereas very much sports entertainment side.
Oh, definitely.
So with that as well, our egos were really high. So walking into the place, we was like, okay, let's check this out. And we knew one or two people from before. Like we knew Bully Briggs, who took us under his wing at IPW, luckily. And we went there, and I remember the walk home after our first session that we go, oh, what do you think? I was like, oh, head trainer Ant's really nice, we like him. John's really nice. Everyone else, no, I didn't think they're worth anything. Don't think they're very good. It's like, and they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, well, but I really liked Vickie. I thought she's got really massive potential. I think she's really good.
Yeah, I thought Victor was really good.
Yeah, good old Victor. Our good mate Vic. We thought he was really good. As for Edin, to be fair, I didn't like him at first. I didn't speak to him. Didn't really have much interaction with him, but I didn't really like him at first. And now I can't get enough of him, to be fair, so how things change. Exactly.
It happens a lot.
EJ for
though.
life.
Like, we, as soon as someone walks in, we will make our mind up straight away without them even, like, stepping 2 feet through the door, let alone saying a single word, right? No.
Don't like him.
Send them away.
You guys are very judgmental.
Yeah, but
I think it's a protection thing. We're trying to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
We're very like we have our little inner circle, and we don't like it to expand too much. We like 2 or 3 people. Like, yep, that's it. That's all we need.
Well,
You piss us off, right? You can't come back. We hold a grudge.
definitely.
Oh, yeah. Like that. While me and Vickie like the welcoming ones.
Yeah.
Well, I like to meet new people.
I don't.
I've got my guys.
I
I'm
don't
fine.
like new people.
Yeah.
You've made that pretty known for the years.
Yeah.
I don't like change.
I mean, like, obviously we've had our first impressions, and we've spoken about the way we got into wrestling and which schools we all started at. But I think a good thing for us to talk about now will be our first ever training seminar and how does it go for you? Because obviously it all went well enough for us to all still be doing this, right?
Yeah.
So we're all still here today. We're still wrestling. Like, we've got 6 years. You've got 3-4 years. You've got a year or so under your belt. So I think it'd be quite a good idea for us to kind of explain our journey through that first training session. Because it's a big thing for any person to walk through those doors and get that insight and have to do that session. Because it's either make or break. Like, you either do that first session, you stick around, or you're like, that's not for me, mate. So
I think first time, the hardest thing is just getting through the door.
Oh, yes.
You can easily,
Definitely.
when you look at that door, you can easily, like, the easiest thing you do is just turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, your heart's like thumping. Your like palms are
Oh, yeah.
sweaty.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone
Mostly.
just queuing out the door, you turn up, everyone just turns and looks.
It's like, oh, there's
Yeah.
new guys. You're like,
It's like,
Yep.
it's like,
meet.
It's like when you walk into the wrong classroom and everyone stares at you.
Yeah.
you're like, sorry, my bad. Yeah, so how about we pass? I think it'd be quite good to we go backwards. So
Yeah.
if we start with Edin and go from Vickie, and eventually we'll get to us.
Yeah, that's fine.
My first session was about. It was 4 years ago, but I only stayed for a month. I'll talk more about that later.
Right.
But it was only Vickie and John Moores who were there. And what I remember from that training session was enjoying it a lot, doing the bumps, and especially just doing the Shawn Michaels spot where he does the elbow and nipped up.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's all I could really remember.
Must be nice to be able to nip up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see you do it.
You're not.
Yeah,
You could do it.
Tag team guys.
I'll get you to do the nipping up for me.
Exactly. That's why I'm the athletic one.
So,
Yeah. So obviously you your first session was very, very small. So was that the same for you when you first started?
Well, it wasn't a massive class, I'll tell you that. There was like 4 or 5 people, if that.
Right.
And I was 15 at the time, so I was like really tiny, really puny. And like my dad took me to my first training session, and I remember walking in and I was just like the only girl there, and I was like, this is interesting. And then I remember it was the 13th of November 2016 when I first started.
Oh,
And then
exact day.
exact date, I know. And then I remember like just thinking this is the best thing I've ever done, and like I just love wrestling so much. And then like I remember feeling so accepted for once in my life, feeling like there's somewhere I could belong, like something that I could dedicate all my time to and like just love doing. And then I just remember like wanting to go back the next week and being so excited about it. And like I just love doing everything. Like I love taking the bumps. I love doing like, as silly as it sounds, I love doing wrist locks. Like I love doing chain. It was just like the best thing, the most amazing thing. So yeah.
Did it feel a bit more special being the only girl there, or did you feel like you wanted another girl there?
No, I was just happy to be like there. I was just happy to be one of the lads. Like,
Yeah.
And
it
obviously
felt
you
nice.
said you was 15 at the time.
Yeah.
So was you the youngest one there as well?
Oh yeah, yeah, I
You
was.
Oh.
it's also good to find that at your age where a lot of people get out of their teens, don't even know what they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So you're very lucky because you've still got all this time, still being your prime. Whereas a lot of people find wrestling mid-30s or mid-20s, and
Exactly.
that's it. Like, you've not got many years to perfect your craft until you go on. And
We had someone started wrestling with us back in IPW ages ago that was like 50.
yeah, in the
Oh, wow.
50s, 60s, he was actually right, to be fair. Wasn't
Yeah, it's quite nimble for his age.
I mean, like, I didn't have many friends, and like at the time I was getting really heavily bullied at school.
Right.
So like, I thought like this was my new family. Like this is people I can trust. This is people I can talk to, and like, I just felt like I found friendship, and like, it was amazing. In honesty.
Well, I think bouncing off that, me and Dominic have been in quite a few different training schools and stayed there for a while. But that Gem Pro is the only place that really has that family vibe.
Yeah.
Like, there is no cliques, there's no hierarchy, we're all one. And you don't get that many wrestling schools. At least what we found, there's not this behind your back bitching, backstabbing, or, you know, oh, well, this is the clique over here, and these are the people who aren't very good, but these are the ones who always get booked. Like, there's none of that stuff at Gem Pro. It's very much of, we're all one family, and it means a lot more. It's easier to train.
Yeah.
You feel a lot more accepted.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously, everywhere you go, after you train there for a while, you do obviously build up relationships with people, because whilst you're wrestling, you're putting your lives into each other's hands, pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's no doubtly going to be that connection there after a while for doing such an intimate thing like that.
So I think we should now explain how our first training session went.
I'm surprised I can remember.
So going back to the very start of this podcast, me and Dominic said that we were both football players, and I was playing for Chiltern. We were playing Sunday League as well, and Sunday League, and we ended up leaving football to wrestling, and you know, we was really hyped about doing this training school, and we're like, okay, that's gonna be sick, it's gonna be really cool, because I'd been there previously before when I was about 13. I trained under Jimmy Havoc and Tom Chamberlain with my older brother Joey. And that was really cool. So I wasn't expecting the same people to be there, but I was kind of knew roughly. I knew somewhat of the basics. So we went in together, and a very tall fellow introduced himself to us. And I say very tall. I'm pretty sure the guy's almost like 7 foot.
Oh, definitely. He's the tall dude.
He's
Fentos.
Yeah, and he was the first person who introduced himself to us. He's like, you're here for the wrestling boys, but it's like, cool, I'll show you where it is. And kind of took us in.
He's such a lovely dude.
Yeah.
Definitely. First person that came up to us, he saw that we were new, and just came straight up to us and introduced himself.
I'm pretty sure he could tell that we were just bricking it. Like, we were just so nervous. And I think from there, you know, like, you guys had really small classes. Yeah, we had the opposite. We had like 30 plus students.
Yeah.
And when you're there, and you're trying not to mess up all the brand new stuff you're being taught, and every eye is just glaring.
You don't want him to laugh at you and you mess it up. And
you're there like jittering, just so nervous. Like, it's fine, relax. There's like 39 eyes staring at me, mate. What are you chatting? You know, but we had the tag team back then, D&D, Kieran Donnelly and Danny Duggan, who was teaching us, and we was doing fine. We was doing the rolls and bumps, and there was 2 new trainees at the time as well, weren't there?
Yeah, they started the exact same day as us, didn't they?
Yeah, which later on they became the Suicide Crew, which was a tag team. Massive guys, like 6'4", 6'5", maybe taller.
And it's just us standing next to him.
Yeah, 2 little anorexic twigs, 5 foot nothing.
Lions like standing next to mice, pretty much.
Yeah, and you know, we're there. They're there, like, okay, we can go through the bumps now. We're going through the bumps. Okay, cool. And would you like to let everyone know what happened?
Yeah, dude. Alright, we're going to do bumps. Our first one, kneel down and just attack the mat. Just me attack it. I'm like, alright, I'm going to attack it. Yeah, I'm going to attack it. Yeah. Whack. Head bounces off the floor. I can take a second. I look at the scene and like, oh god. Is this what wrestling's like?
Turns around, sees the Suicide Crew on their feet. I'm standing there on my feet,
so
ready.
I've got to get up. I don't want to look like a wimp on my first day.
He gets up to his feet, right, ready, legs, 1, 2, 3, does the exact same thing, whacks his head again.
Yeah, so I'm very surprised I can remember that day.
Yeah.
But we've got even more extreme after that, didn't we?
Yeah, well, then they're like, okay, lads, we can do flip bumps. And flip bumps for your first session is not usually it's usually optional. It's like, you can do it, you don't have to do it. We get it. And the big guys, Suicide Crew, like, oh, well, me and Dominic straight away have gone,
Of course.
me and Dominic straight have gone, yeah, all right, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it. No problem. Suicide Crew look at us as if they're about to kill us. We're like, no, yeah, we'll do it. Like, okay, we don't have a crash map, but we've got our mats on the floor. You too sure you want to do this? Yeah, why not?
The flats were there, but they're not really that thick either.
No, they're like double layered, weren't they? They weren't the greatest.
No.
But yeah, that was our first trace up, and we went back ever since and did it for like 3-4 years.
Yeah. First session, just straight away did flip bumps like it was nothing.
Yep.
So we didn't really know what to expect doing flip bumps. Like, we'll just give it a go.
Yeah.
If we get injured, we get injured.
Yeah, it's pretty much just watch everyone else. Like, it's just a front flip, right? But into a back bump. Like, yeah, it's just a front flip into a back bump. Well, that's easy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do it.
I've done that off of diving boards into pools all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So
There's just no water.
So that was our first training seminar, and obviously for years it was just me and you until Gen Pro. So you're probably a lot of you are wondering this is a question we get asked a lot, was how did 2 become 4? So who wants to start telling that story then? Because that's a bit of fun. Dominic's just shaking his head. Dominic's just like, no.
A lot of points.
I think maybe Vickie, because she was the third to join.
Yeah.
It essentially, yeah.
Okay. So Dominic was away for a bit.
So
and
just
then-
to state that there, we were tagging in Gen Pro, or EWW, and you took some time away.
Yeah.
Which left just me there. I was just there by myself.
Yeah, and then Andros decided that he saw potential in me, so he wanted to take me under his wing.
Right.
So then me and him became a tag team called Tenacity. And then we did a few matches, and then Dominic came back, and then we became a trio. Yeah, we became a trio. And then...
So during that time, we was having a feud against a tag team called the Vindictive Ones, and it got quite brutal.
Oh, yeah.
So we needed we needed someone to kind of even the odds, have our back, and I asked Dominic to come watch our back because family always has each other's back. Which Dominic agreed to. Dominic's like, yeah, no problem, I've got your guys' back. I'll make sure you won't get thrown through a fire exit again.
Yeah, and then and then John Moores was like, he thought it was a really good idea for us to do that, and then Edin decided to come to the academy. So then John Moores was like, oh, we should add Edin to Enigmatic as well, and then that's how we all came to be.
Yeah, give or take, it was very much of, you know, like I said before, I went keenest on Edin and then he grew on me.
Yeah.
And I liked him a lot, and I was like, oh, okay, this kid does have a lot of potential. I like him a lot, and you know, when I approached John, was like, what's the chances of making this a trio into 4 of us? And he was like, I was about to approach you and ask you anyway, like, what would you think about having Edin come join you guys? So I was like, yeah, I'll take him on the wing.
Yeah.
Why not? I was like, you know, and I think it's probably the best thing that we've done is turn 2 into 4, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's much more diversity because we've all got so many different characters at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So with obviously, what's your 2 thoughts? Because obviously you've got us 2, and we're very opinionated people where you want to be.
Oh, I know.
So obviously you was doing your own thing before Tenacity happened and before you was put into Enigmatic. So what was your thoughts being told you're now going to be teaming up with Andros as Tenacity? Oh, and also now that King's back, we're going to put you all together as a big stable called Enigmatic.
Well, before I actually met Andros, I thought that tag team wrestling was super cool, and I'd always wanted to try it. So then, like, Andros came along, and I was like, at first I was very nervous. I was like, oh, I don't really know him. I'm not sure if we'll be a good team. But then we went and did like our first tag team match together, and it was so fun. Like, I loved being in the tag team, and then like me and him got closer, and we ended up being best friends. And then like it was just so cool being in tag team with my best friend. I can't explain it. And then like, you know, getting to find 2 other guys who was like, you know, joined us. It was just really cool.
Oh, we're just 2 other
personally.
guys.
Yeah, you guys are just 2 other guys.
And it's my best friend and 2 other guys.
Well, you know, it felt like I was a part of a family, like a small little family that I could call my own, really. It's really nice.
Was there any specific thoughts that went through your head when you first found out you were going to be joining Jay in Tenacity at the time? Was there any second thoughts, any doubts, or was it just all excitement and looking forward to it?
Well, I mean, I looked up to him a lot, and I thought that he was really cool. Like, I felt like I wasn't cool enough to be his best friend. Like,
Good point.
I don't know. I thought I was a little weirdo who wears like half black, half blue tights, and like has some weird sunglasses that everyone hates.
Nothing has changed.
And my like freaky little dance I used to do because I thought I was cool. Like, and he did none of that. So
That got cut out well quick.
oh yeah.
When he said Andros J took you under his wing, yeah. No, for me, it was very much of, at that time, I was done with tag team wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
So when I was approached by John Moores to take you under my wing, I'm like, I think about putting you on a tag team called, and you guys use like tenacity. I was like,
I came up with the name.
yeah, I was like,
It was awesome.
at the same time, obviously, Enigmatic had came to an end. Mm-hmm. Dominic had stepped away from wrestling, and I'd already done like 3-4 years of just pure tag team stuff, and I was quite excited to see what I could do by myself. I had this new character idea that I was developing in my head, and then John comes over and goes, "So, I've got this good idea. Obviously, you and Vickie are quite close." I'm like, yeah, cool, she's my mate. He's like, cool. Tag team, you and Vickie. I'm like, just saying, like,
No.
yeah. It's like, he goes, "You're the most experienced tag team guy I've got. Like, you can take her on the wing. You can really show her the ropes." I'm like, "Yeah, boss, no problem. Absolutely, I can do that." And it did lead.
So yes, sir.
Yeah, we ended up becoming really good friends because of it, and I probably wouldn't have changed it at all. Like, we had a really good run.
Oh yeah.
As for Edin, kind of mistake letting him join, but
We can't get rid of him now.
yeah, exactly.
You're stuck on me.
I know I love him just far too much now.
Yeah.
That's why I regret it. I just love him too much, So
It hurts so bad.
yeah. So obviously, you came into the academy and you only knew Vickie.
Yeah.
So being told you're going to be joining this family, this stable, what was going through your head at the time?
Well, I wasn't exactly told. I was literally just added to a group called Enigmatic on Messenger.
I was just forced into it.
Yeah, you didn't want to be. You were
I was
just
like,
forced.
Kicking
It
and
was
screaming.
Yeah.
I think it happened. It was around the time when I first dyed my hair purple, and then
yeah.
the next day I was in a group called Enigmatic.
We are
So-
the Power Rangers.
I literally messaged up. What's this all about? It's like, oh, it's just for our new team. I was like, oh,
Okay.
oh, because before all this, it was always Leo Strong coming up to me saying he would tag with me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was mainly thinking of singles because that's what you kind of do when you start out. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is he dyed his hair purple, and we saw that as an initiation into the team. It's like, you have bright hair now, you are one of the Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Like, you are a Power Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, rumours were circling Gen Pro for a while that Edin might be joining us.
Yeah.
And I've gone to John quite a few times saying, I want to tag with him, I really like him, I want to take him on my wing. Like, let me take him under my wing, I will show him the ropes. And John was just like, yeah, alright, cool. And then I remember him jokingly saying, well, if he dyes his hair, he can. And then literally the following Sunday, he had bright black hair. And I was just looked at him, John was like, he's cool, awesome, he's mine, I've got him, I win.
it did put a lot of pressure on me because you've all had matches before. You've been longer than me, and like, I don't want to seem like I'm invading this.
That's understandable.
Just take me in, please.
Yeah. So obviously, with you, Dominic, taking quite a long, lengthy break from wrestling, and you came back into it and see me doing my thing with Vickie, how did that make you feel? Obviously, because you be tagged for... Sorry guys, my chair just broke. I'm just completely... My chair's just collapsed.
Edin, Andros is blocking his leg again.
Yeah, so going back to the point, guys, before I rudely interrupted my brother, Dominic King, and myself, how did you feel? Because obviously you came back to wrestling, and obviously, did it feel like...
At first, I actually felt very jealous at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like that was the formula I was used to, and now that formula's not there anymore. So like, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
So I found my way to weasel my way back in,
And
we've done it, boys.
Yeah.
No, it was all good. I didn't actually mind it too much. I actually enjoyed seeing what they were doing, and I felt like it would be so nice to be a part of that again.
Yeah.
So I started to get back into it. I started putting in the work, putting in the time.
Getting the gains.
Yeah, they're a bit lost now.
Yeah. But to be fair, looking back at that time, That's the most motivated I'd ever seen you.
Yeah, I've got to get
It's
back
like, I'm
in.
gonna win my man back.
It's a proper rom-com kind of situation.
Apart from there's a little bit of incest there, so we can't throw that.
Yeah, no, I can't be doing that.
No.
No.
No. But obviously, with Edin joining, obviously you came back and were like, okay, let's do Enigmatic again, and but then Edin came in. What was your thoughts about Edin joining the team? Because we was quite happy as a three, as a trio, and then the idea of Edin joining, did that kind of?
But at the same time, the thought of the trio was still kind of fresh at the same time.
Yeah, it don't just happen.
So I think we had that ball rolling of bringing someone else in.
Yeah.
Or to bring Vickie in at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we kind of kept that momentum going and bringing the fourth in to see where that would take us.
Yeah.
So I think if it just was the three of us for a while, I would have been more hesitant. But then how it happened just one after the other, I'm like, yeah, cool. We can see how this works. I can already see something in the both of them.
Yeah.
And the variety that it gives us. And I
Oh,
thought, money. Dollar signs were going.
Merch pushers.
Merch.
But you know what I think works really well is, because like I've said previously, is our bubble was so tight.
Yeah.
Was Vickie and Edin are very much like ourselves. We've all got the exact same interests, the exact same hobbies. So it's not as if they're, it's not as if they're completely outsiders to us.
No.
Like they're very easy to get on with. So
It's like we're all so different but also alike at the same time.
yeah, massively.
Yeah.
And
So
it helps.
it wasn't like how we forced a relationship between all of us. We just naturally gelled together
Exactly.
during time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's two, then three, then four. What are our personal thoughts for the future of Enigmatic? How do we see? Do we see more members coming in? Do we see members getting cut? Do we see obviously I'm praying right now that isn't going to happen. Like any of you guys is going to disappear. Dominic.
I am the lurker. I do disappear. Like I can disappear for like a week, and no one knows where I am.
Please stop. But obviously, so obviously, what are our future plans as this group, as this family? Because like mine personally is to stay as us four and to push it and completely overtake this wrestling scene as us four. And with the podcast now as this first episode, we're becoming much more than just a wrestling fan. We're a brand. We're pushing out there, and anything else that people want to see, they can comment below and tell us. But I'm quite happy with us four and doing what we do. If there is a possible fifth member, I'd love to bring in Joey Core.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If he can come
He
in.
deserves that spot.
Yeah. We've said since the start that spot will always forever be open for him.
Yeah.
If he can get some free time and can actually dedicate himself to come down,
yeah.
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But
We always saw ourselves as a brand since the beginning, really, didn't we?
Yeah.
We always wanted to make it as big and as grand as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Like to the point where I remember ages ago when it was just us two, we thought of merch ideas. We was doing like hats, scarves, gloves. We did winter editions, summer editions.
Yeah.
We did bundle packs as well.
I mean, to be fair, adding this in here, quite a few of us here are quite big Motley Crue fans, and Motley Crue are very much that. So you can see how much that's influenced Enigmatic. We're like, bigger the better, so we gotta go.
And as you can hear from the now Enigmatic theme song, it has a little influence by a Motley Crue song. But if you can find out what that song is, let us know in the comments below, and we'll tell you if you're right or not.
Oh yeah.
You might even win a cheeky little prize. It all
Maybe.
depends how we're feeling.
I mean, personally, I've had the privilege to tag with Andros and Dominic. So I
Lucky
think... Oh, I know, I'm so
Oh,
lucky.
you privileged.
So I think I'd like an opportunity to tag with Edin eventually, so then I
We
can
all do.
tag
It's
with
the only
everyone.
one we haven't actually tagged with.
Exactly.
None of you.
And
It's the
personally,
next level. We all need to.
Jay was saying, I really want to come in, I really want to tag with him. Haven't done it yet.
yeah, exactly. I mean, personally, I want Enigmatic.
I'm sorry I broke my legs, guys. I'm so sorry I broke my leg.
I want Enigmatic to shoot for the moon. I want us to go as far as we can, and
Yeah.
like to go tour in the UK, tour in the US. Just go as far as we can as a family, and do as much as we can possibly do.
Bouncing off that, where do you guys want to go, like country wise or goal wise?
We've been to Germany already.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I'd love to go.
Yeah, we was quite privileged to go do that. That was a really good time. I think just anywhere that's willing to have us.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Literally
You know,
anywhere.
obviously the normals like Japan, we'd love to go to Japan.
US.
America, Mexico.
Italy's got a good wrestling scene out there.
Yeah, there's quite a few places I'd like to go to be
Canada.
fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
go to
Canada,
Canada, that'd be amazing to be
That's
fair.
something I would just like to go in general.
Yeah, same.
We get a holiday out of it as well, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Not exactly get a tan in Canada, but
Don't need one, do I?
no,
It'd be lovely.
go skiing, it'd be fine. Yeah, so that's really cool. So what about yourself? Like, is there any specific end goal that you see? Like, where would, on the grand schemes of things, where would you put Enigmatic? Like, so where we are now to where you'd like to see us end up? Like, what is that big final goal that we're shooting for?
I mean, I'd like to see us personally on like TVs worldwide. Everyone knows who we are. We are the biggest thing, like one of the biggest things in the wrestling scene at the time.
Right.
And everyone just knows who we are, and everyone can just watch us and see what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we have like a massive following of people who like us and like support us. That would be great.
Not only in wrestling scene, but I think mainstream as well.
Oh, yeah.
You get all those mainstream people saying, like we said earlier, like John Cena, everything like that. I would like us to be in that group.
Yeah.
Where anyone says wrestling, they would say our names.
Yeah, exactly that. And,
Yeah.
and there's no reason why we can't do that. You know,
Yeah.
we're all incredibly talented enough to do that as well as wrestling on the side.
Exactly.
You know, like I want to be able to, personally for myself, wrestling be the main thing that becomes the income for us all.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That would be nice.
to be able to say, oh, what do you do for a living? I'm a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Not, I'm a professional wrestler and this.
Yeah.
And if it is and on the side, it's and a musician or
Yeah.
as an actor and I've got a YouTube series, I do this,
Exactly.
rather than just I do this and then, you know, whatever.
Exactly. Like if people look at NXT and they want to name like a current stable, they'll go Undisputed Era. So it's like I want them to be able to name something and then name us.
Yeah.
Yeah, such build ourselves up like the Bullet Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like,
That's how I know me and Ian have spoken about that before, is how big do you want to see Enigmatic of someone to go kind of like the Bullet Club is.
Yeah.
Name a fraction, the first thing that comes to their head is Enigmatic, that's the first thing that comes to their head.
Yeah.
You know. I think that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah. There's the fact where like something like the Bullet Club, where if one of us leaves, someone else can take over, and then one of us can come back. Like it can interchange, and that makes Enigmatic eternal.
Yeah.
In a way, it keeps it going, even if we're not there, it's still going.
Exactly that. So wrapping it up now, guys, because it's been quite a lengthy podcast, and for the first one, it's been kind of
27 minutes, not bad.
yeah, it's been kind of jumbled up, and we've been here, there, and everywhere. Because also how my mind works.
Oh yeah.
We know.
Very scared. What's next for us all? So obviously we've gone through that, but what's the next big thing coming up for Enigmatic?
Small Time would be our next show.
Next
Yeah,
show, which
next
is
It's May 9th.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
if this coronavirus doesn't shut it down like it shut everything else down.
See, so when I approached that, you said, unfortunately, because of coronavirus.
yeah,
Well,
The word's a
It
bit
is.
taboo.
yeah. Due to current events, yeah, we're hopefully the event for Genesis Professional Wrestling will be going forward. I don't see why not. Hopefully, we blast over by then. But that is our next big thing for all of us is May 9th, Genesis Professional Wrestling, Snodden Community Centre.
As well as keeping this podcast going and any other
podcast
ideas we may have
going every single Thursdays. Every Thursday, a podcast will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, so keep an eye on there.
That's
Also,
his word, so if don't come at us, really. Just go
yeah,
for
it's on
him
me.
if
It's
he
on
doesn't.
my head, guys. Just so you know.
we made him say it.
Yeah. Not only that, our website should also be uploaded very soon. It's nearly done, as well as our merchandise is still available. So if anyone wants any merchandise, please feel free to message us and we'll get that sent out to you.
Yeah.
So just to end this off, guys, any last thoughts? Where can we find you? Anything like that? Where can we find us all?
A load of our joint things, just Enigmatic tag or Enigmatic _tag on multiple places. You got me at Dominic King Wrestler on Instagram.
got me Enigmatic Vickie on Instagram.
You got me as Edin Wrestling on Instagram.
And Real Andros J. Thank you to everyone who's listened to our first episode of the Enigmatic podcast. If there's any subjects, any topics you'd like us to expand or even talk about, please feel free to put that in the comments below. Apart from that, I've been Andros J.
I've been Dominic King.
I've been Edin Wise.
And I've been Vickie.
And thank you very much. We'll see you all next Thursday.
Yep. See ya.
See you soon.